Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem, Shai Shem Kakadash. Now a thun called Yam. Yahweh Shem, Shai Shem Kakadash. Shalom to the hopefully left out there. I'm going to entitle this video Zelensky says there will be no third world war. You see here, I put in Zelensky Golden Globes. So this was the Golden Globes award. I don't know if that was this past Sunday because Jake doesn't watch. What the hell is the Golden Globes? Jakes don't watch that. They don't watch that. They don't watch the Academy Awards. Well, they had to spice it up. The last Academy Awards with the slap heard around the world. You know, all that to try to. They had to put Jake. They got to flavor it up with Jake. Anyway, the only thing Jake might award show, they'll watch the so-called the BET Awards and the Soul Train Awards and what else? They'll watch the Grammys because got the hip hop, R&B. But the Golden Globe, ain't no Jake watching the Golden Globes. So I'm figuring that this Golden Globes was on a Sunday, maybe on a Monday. I don't know. But anyway, this guy, this actor, what's his name? He hasn't did a movie in years. I can't even remember his name, but he kind of introduces President Zelensky, and I'm not gonna play it because you know how YouTube do. He basically says he speaks about the First World War, the Second World War. He said the First World War, millions of people died. The Second World War, I believe he said tens of millions of people died. And he said there's not going to be a third world war, and people are clapping. Oh my goodness, it's the greatest. They just made this man was developed. They made this guy. They put this guy together. There was a movie come out. I believe the name of the movie was Moon Over Parador, something like that. With the guy that played, I can't remember his name. Damn, his name is right on the tip of my tongue. He's the ultimate small hat. He was the head, the main actor and I can't even think of that movie. Something of the third kind. The UFO movie that my mind is going. Let me see. If I can remember his name, I can get it. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Close Encounters. Let me do this. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The movie came out with this demon. That's the ultimate small hat. Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss. That's the go-to JEW. I'm not going to say it outright because you know how they get down. But if you say it was a good movie, very good movie. it's good because you got to pay for it. So it's considered a classic. If you got to pay for it on YouTube, that means it's a classic. Um, but anyway, he did a movie. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Let me do this. Let me give it a movie. Yeah, this guy wasn't the greatest actor in the world. Let me do this. Come on now. Okay, I got this up. Richard Dreyfuss movies. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Give me his list of movies. Okay, list of performances. Damn, this guy's only 5'5". This is a little ass small hat. Little guy. Bear me for a minute. I just want to get this movie. Uh, okay, that's the movie. Came out in 1988. I saw the movie. And Moon over Parador. Moon over Parador. Let me do this. Okay, Moon over Parador is a 1988 American romantic comedy film starring Richard Dreyfuss, Raul Julian, and Sonia Brega. That's who was a hot little Brazilian ashite chick. It is a remake of the 1939 film, which I didn't notice, The Magnificent Fraud. I didn't notice. The Magnificent Fraud, based on the unpublished short story entitled Caviar for His Excellency by Charles G. Booth. So this is a remake. I didn't know that. This is a remake of a movie called The Magnificent Fraud. So let's go back to my main man Zelensky over here. This is um there's a term. Let me do this. Let me come back over here. There's lessons within lessons. So I didn't know this, man. This is a movie, a remake of a 1939 movie called The Magnificent Fraud. Now, this story is about, I can tell you what it's about. The film, a plot, the film follows the exploits of film actor Jack Noah, which is Richard Dreyfuss, who is a good movie too, who is filming in the small fictional South American country of Parador when Paradorian president Alphonse Sims, a dictator, invites him and the cast and crew to the film at their palace. Sims seems delighted at Jack's imitation of him because he looks just like the president. Yeah, long story short, the president looks just like Richard Dreyfuss, but this guy was a drunkard, and the woman that he fell in love with was a whore, a prostitute, or whatever. But he was in love with the woman, and I believe he was drunk. He was always drunk. You know, they had to prop him up. This was the real president of this fictitious country. So I believe he dies. So they got to keep the lie going. They said we can't tell the people that he's dead. So they find this actor that looks just like him. Then they instruct him how to speak with his Spanish accent and all that. And then but then she falls in love with him, but he falls in love with, with her too. Very attractive Ashite woman. But it was a good movie, good comedy. But I see why the actual name of the movie is 1939 movie, The Magnificent Fraud, because it was a big fraud. This guy was an actor, and they said you got to play the part of the president, which he died. I believe he died. I'm not going to read the rest. Yep, it said that he was always drunk, forces Jack to take the role of a lifetime, that of the dead president, because he did die, but they didn't want to tell the people. So you get a chance to watch the movie, and that's Zelensky. There's a term. Let me do this. Here. It's worth a Google. Don't worry, I'm going to get into the precepts, the scriptures. Come on now. Excuse me. Bear with me for a minute. I hate this. Oh, wow. I'm looking at the cast, right? It says Richard Dreyfuss as Jack Noah, President Alphonse Sims. Alphonse Sims. Like this Latin American president, what you're going to find out, a lot of these Latin American leaders are actually go back to small hats and Germans. Like you had this one president, Vicente Fox. He had that little Zorro type of Latin mustache. He spoke fluent Spanish, but the dude was German. Vicente Fox, and the Fox goes back to the German word of saying fox. So most of these leaders, these Latin American leaders, a lot of them they go back to Hitler's, reign. A lot of these Brazilians, a lot of them Latin American leaders, they look just like Edomites because they are. A lot of them with small hats, but it says Raul Julian, right? Let me see something. Here. Okay, yeah, that's that chick. She's a little bit older. She'll find she kind of reminds me of this chick uh that the elder Malcolm has a thing for. He said he saw her, he saw each other, and he said, "I'm gonna claim her for the kingdom." She plays in what's that? It's a drug cartel type movie. It's on. I don't watch those movies. I don't watch movies like I used to. Somebody help me out. But anyway, she's kind of like her of that day, like a fine, sexy Brazilian chick, and she is from Brazil. Yeah, Brazil is a Brazilian actress. But anyway, let me see something. Okay, let me go to Julian. Yeah, he's a Puerto Rican, and I knew he was Latin. He's a Puerto Rican actor. He died some years back. Okay. So okay, all right. So Lauren Dreyfus is the older brother, Richard Dreyfus, which they look alike damn near. And the actual president, uh, Alphonse Sims, he played the actual president. He died, and then this guy Richard Dreyfus came in. But see now, check this out. Okay, Raul Julia uh, as Roberto Straussman. Wait a minute, ain't he supposed to be a Latin? He's like the guy behind the scenes. He's a guy that props. Hey, just like this guy. I'll get in the scriptures. Please forgive me. I'm kind of going off into a rant here, but you notice this guy Joe Biden. He has to have people around him. You know, people are basically watching him, leading them. There was this black woman. He's walking one way, and black woman had to grab the president and kind of lead him the other way because he don't know what the fuck he's going. He's beyond senility. He's beyond senile. He's just a prop, and that's nothing but predictive programming. That's all that is. Let me do this. Google. Google predictive programming. Predictive programming. Okay, let me get the simple answer. What is predictive programming? What if everything you encountered in your day-to-day interactions is somehow prescient? Are the games you play and the films you watch meant to normalize? Good breakdown of the word. Predictive programming. Let me go to meaning. Right, The Simpsons. Yep. Everything that's been happening, it's all on The Simpsons. Before the World Trade Center, The Simpsons pushed the World Trade Center centers being destroyed. Let me go to meaning. Predictive programming. Let's try predictive top 10 scary examples of predictive programming on YouTube. What is predictive programming? Why you should worry about predictive programming? Fact check: the Simpson episodes are not evidence of predictive programming, and that's called what do you call that? Damage control. Let me try this. I'm going all around the world to prove a point. The point is this: that all of these presidents, all of them, or most of them, if they didn't comply, they got a they got a bullet in the noodle. But these, let's say recent history, let's say Barack Obama, Ronald Reagan, Bush, Bush's son, baby Bush, they were all they they were all controlled, they were all developed, you know, and they put a so-called black president just to you know shake you up a little bit to show you that, see, we're not racist. If we're racist, why would you have a black president? And this guy didn't do nothing for Jake. He didn't do a damn thing for Jake. But so this guy, the current president Biden, he's just a puppet. He's an old fossil. That's all he is. He's an old. He's probably dead. He probably got batteries in his back. I'm being dead serious, man. I mean, I'm reaching with that, but I do believe there's doubles. There's maybe 2 or 3 of them, because he kind of looks different. He walks a little different. And he could be dead. They could have his double walking around, because American people are not that smart any fucking way. So, okay, so Zelensky, it was an actual actor. He was an actual actor. And I remember when they made a big deal when he became the president, it was all on the news. This was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. The guy was a comedian, a stand-up comedian. He was on Dancing with the Stars, the Ukraine version, and he played a school teacher, an actor playing a school teacher, right? And one of the episodes, the Ukrainian leadership came to him and they said, "Good morning, Mr. President." He's looking at him like, "What you mean I'm the president?" And in this sitcom, he actually became the president. But guess what? He became the president in real life. So this dude is an actor. He was developed. That's what I meant by that. But like I said, watch that movie, Moon Over Parador. And it's a remake of The Magnificent Fraud. That's a better name, because there's nothing but a fraud. This is all a fraud. This is all a facade, man. But people believe in it. See, what does the word government mean? Ask anybody, what does the word government mean? Tell people that you know the government is controlling your mind. No, the government ain't controlling my mind. They're not about, they're about helping the people. So you ask them, what does the word government mean? First of all, they don't know. Then you tell them, you might tell them, go to Google and look up the word government, the root word for government. The word government means mind control. That's all it means. That's all it means for you dummies out there. Like Gazoo, Gazoo gets on, Fred Flintstone and Bonnie Rubble. He calls them dumb dumbs. You dumb dumbs. Well, that's what you people are, dumb dumbs. Anyway, let's just go into it. I went all around the world to come back over here. So remember, this guy's an actor, a stand-up comedian. He did a sitcom, and in one of the episodes, the government came to him and said, "Good morning, Mr. President." And he said, "What the hell you mean I'm the president?" And they made him the president in the sitcom. And then a couple of years later, he actually became the president. So this guy, the other day, okay, let me just read this. Uh, Volodymyr Zelensky makes a virtual appearance at the Golden Globes. There will be no third war. President Zelensky interrupts Golden Globes with powerful message. Okay, this is playing live right now. Zelensky at Golden Globes live. Ukraine will stop Russian war. There will be no third world war. This clown was even on the Grammys, man. And I went through the word cult of personality, cult of personality. Like Bishop Nathaniel is the cult of personality. And he was probably, he probably had a PR firm hook the whole thing up. You got to get these, fantastical garments and you got to march. And that's what people get into. People are into controversy, Here it goes again. There will be no third world war. President Zelensky interrupts Golden Globes with powerful message. Who's backing this guy? The main people that backing this guy is over here, are the people over here in America, the politicians. This guy done got over $100 billion. And look, you must see moments from the 2023 Golden Globe Awards. Now, you notice he got Jake all up in there, right? Because they're trying to spice it up. See, when Esau does shit, it's bland, it's boring. They have to get Jake. The scriptures say we are the salt of the earth, right? What award did this Eddie Murphy win? He ain't did no movies in a while. But they got to spice it up. They got to get Jake up in there. Oh, they gave him something. Gave him something. Yeah, Sean Penn, he pretty much interested. And Sean Penn is nothing but an insider. I believe he's a small hat. But he plays an Irishman on TV in the movies. Vladimir Zelensky speaks at Golden Globe Awards after Sean Penn introduces him. Yeah, Sean Penn is just an insider. Oh, here it is. And this is on the BBC. The comedian who could be president. This is actually, there it is. This is one of the guys. Oh my goodness. This is actually one of the guys that, these are like the guy from the government, and they say, good morning. Hold up. Good morning, Mr. President. That's from a sitcom. And he wound up being, a couple of years later, he wound up being the president. So go figure. You people better wake the fuck up, man. Better wake the hell up. That's why you motherfuckers took them jabs, because you had your favorite actors endorse that shit. You were a bunch of stupid motherfuckers, man. So anyway, that's what he said. He said there will be no third world war, right? So now let me do this. I'm gonna change gears a little bit. Okay, this is Vocab Malone's page. John Mark Rise's page. He doesn't like to be called that. Do Hebrew Israelites understand sin and the fall? Not usually. Okay, he's focusing on Stairway Ministry, Charles Dow, which Dow's on a low level. He doesn't understand. He's basically a Christian that teaches that we're the Israelites, but he's not on a deep level. Anyway, you know what I've round up, what I found, what I came on. It said Christians agree with Charles Dow of Stairway Ministries on Esther 8 verse 17. I already knew what it was about. Many of the people became Jews, but this you got to wait until 11 a.m. a couple more hours before you can see it. But so what I did was I copied and pasted Esther 8 verse 17 to show you that they don't understand the scriptures. I'm pretty sure that's one of the scriptures that Charles Dowell teaches, that the heathens could come in because they can become Judaized. Well, all the nations are going to become Judaized. They're going to learn the law, statutes, and commandments. So let's read this. Esther 8, verse 17. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment, and the king at that time was Osiris, which is Xerxes from the movie 300. Remember the king with all the jewelry on him, tall as hell? That was an actual guy. And King Leonidas was an actual guy too, but they were the 300. They were Jakes because they had the big bushy beards. All of them had the big bushy beards. It says also they had long hair. That's where Jake gets the long hair and the dreads and the long cornrows for men. Men are not supposed to be concerned with their hair. You get up in the morning, you take a comb it back, and take you 2 seconds. You out. You got guys going to beauty shops. Hey, like your high priest Yeshaya. That dude looked like a black Shirley Temple. The dude had thing about high priest Yeshaya. He used to get on niggas about having Jerry curl, and he became the king of the Jerry curl. The dude used to be in. Oh my Lord. The dude used to be in a beauty parlor. And I remember he had that thing over your head, drying your head. He said, a brother came to me and said, Shalom, brother. He came up under that hood to say Shalom. You don't be doing that, brother. That dude was a funny dude. But he had the Shirley Temple curls, with the Jerry curl on it. He had Jerry curl in his beard. All right. But anyway, let me get back into this. Esther 8, verse 17. Let's read this with understanding. It says, and in every province and in every city, this was the what do you call it? The feast, all right? Purim, which means lot. It means lot. And by the way, Purim is not a Sabbath. It's not a holy day. It was a day of joyfulness. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, it says the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day, and many, because a bunch of Edomites got killed. Haman. Many of the people, meaning the other nations of the land, became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Now you notice it said the fear of the Jews fell upon them. So the whole world's going to become Jews again, because the fear of the Jews are going to fall upon them. Now let's pull out some of these words. This is why you have to go into root words. You have to go into the Hebrew or the Greek. It says Jews, Jews. Then it said Jews, Jews, right? So we said, well, this is the same word, spelled the same and everything. But no, let's go. The importance of knowing some Hebrew and some Greek. So let's go to, many of the people of the land became Jews. The word there is Matha Yaha Yahadiyam Yahadiyam or Yahad. Now, what does that mean? Let's click on it. Yahad. Denominative from a form corresponding to Yahawada or Yehuda, as they would say, or Yehudi. Become Jews. You can't become a Jew. You can't be born a Moabite and become a Jew. To become a Jew, in fact, or in fraud. Like these people, the small hats, they're Jews in fraud. Become Judaized. That's what it means. What does it mean to become Judaized? To keep the laws. What did John Hyrcanus, the priest, which was the Maccabees clan, what did he do? He killed a lot of Edomites, but he didn't kill all of them. The ones that he spared, he made them keep the laws and statutes of the Most High. It says Yahad, or they would say Yahad. Well, they're correct right here. Yahad or Yahud, denominated from a form corresponding to H3061, to Judaize, i.e., become Jewish. That's why they call themselves Jewish, because they're not the real Jews. Become Jews. Judaize, meaning they were given the laws. The laws were forced on them because they feared the Jews. And they're fearing us now. To make oneself a Jew. And that's what the small hats are doing. They made themselves. Well, no, we're the people. No, you're not the people. You converted to this thing many years ago, i.e., to embrace the Jewish religion. That came about with them. Being a Jew is not a religion; it's a people. The letter Yad, which in the noun is a Yad is a servile. Becomes a radical, as in form. It says to become a Jew, make a Jew, to be made a Jew. And if you notice, that's the only time that it's in the scriptures. Let me click on it, H3054. Only one time in the scriptures. So now let's come back. And this is why we say we have 100% truth. This is why us here, for the record, GMS constantly brings out scriptures about the charagma, which is the MOTB, the mark of the beast. And we say it's the charagma, or let's use the word jump shot. A lot of these guys, man, they like Captain Desariak. He's gonna have, when he finds out that what we've been saying was the truth about the charagma, he's gonna have that same, he probably gonna faint. He probably gonna faint like my man. He's gonna become unglued. Okay, so became Jews. So we looked that up. I hope you're taking notes, Vocab Malone. Meaning, when it said they became Jews, meaning they kept the laws because they feared the Jews, and they fear us now. The elite fear us because they know that we're going to shackle them up. It says And many of the people of the land became Jews or Judaized for the fear of the Jews. Now, wait a minute. Okay, you got Jews of the Jews, H 3064, and you got became Jews, H 3054. H 3064. The word is Ha Yahawah Dayam. Ha meaning the. Yahweh is the name of the Most High. And Da is short for the water, which means thanks. So the word Yahud, Yahweh, Yahweh or Judah is thank you, Lord, or praise, Yahweh praise, Yahweh thanks. Because Leah thanked the Lord. Thank you, Lord. I mean, I'm going to name my son, thank you, Lord. Yahweh Dayam. Yahweh is the name of the Most High. Da is short for the water for thanks, and Yum makes it plural, meaning the Jews. No J in the Hebrew. So now let's click on that. Okay, this is the actual, okay. This is the root. Yahweh Daya. You got Yahweh Dayam, which means Jews. Yahweh Daya, which means Jew, singular. Now these small hats, they'll say, I'm a Yehudi. That's how they pronounce it. They're pronouncing it the wrong way. It's Yahweh Daya or Judite. Yahweh is Jew, and the Yah makes it an ite, the suffix. Yahweh Da, which means Jew. Yahweh Daya means Judite. Jew. Judah. Judite. Jehudite. Jew. The Star Wars series, Luke wanted to become what? A Jedi Knight. What does Jedi mean? It means Judah. It's another way of saying Judah. Now look how many times is the word Jew, H 3064, occurs in the scriptures. 81 times in 69 verses. And that's all in the Old Testament. So now that you saw this, when you get a chance, watch this video. And then you can tell vocab he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But I'm gonna see how this comes out. I'm gonna see how this thing plays out. And vocab is we don't hate him, like we don't have like a deep dark hatred. We kind of like the guy because you know what? He keeps us sharp. You know, he gives us topics. So he helps this thing. You can't do anything against the truth but for the truth. So he helps us. He gives us topics. Anyway, we know all the scriptures on the World War III. Let me give you maybe one or two. Because Zelensky said there will not be a third World War, right? One precept that comes to mind, I might just go to this one precept, maybe others. The second war was past, which was the Second World War, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So he said there's not going to be a third world war. What the hell is he talking about? Let me go to Revelation 16. Tempted to go through this whole thing, but I'm not. Oh, uh, Revelation, Revelation 16, right about here, the second verse and the third verse. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the MOTB, which is a cancer. When you look the words up, noisome and grievous, it's a sore producing pus. Which if you don't take care of it, you don't use antibiotics, that it becomes a cancer. So they're gonna suffer cancer with those carotenoids. So that's how we know it's not Christianity. And it's not going to be the actual chip that's going to make you cause cancer. It's the fact that the 5G, 6G will work through that carotenoid. So that's going to emit radiation where your hand is, and it's going to cause, which is inflammation. That's inflammation. All diseases, cancer comes from inflammation. Okay, you have a perfectly tuned body, you won't get sick, won't catch any cancer. All cancer comes from inflammation because of the foods, the air that you breathe, the environment that you live in, and the nasty foods that you eat. So you're gonna know who got it. Oh, I never know, I didn't get it. And then all of a sudden you're gonna see this guy with a damn ace bandage around him all the damn time because he's trying to hide that sore. It says noisome and grievous sore upon the men, meaning men, women, and children, which had the MOTB, and upon them which worship his image, which means that doesn't mean if you look at a picture of Caesar Borgia like this clown, the Bishop Nate, the image is talking about a picture of Caesar Borgia. When they set up them chipping stations, they're not going to have a picture of Caesar Borgia up there. And if they do happen to have a picture of Caesar Borgia up there, they're not going to make you bow. Okay, bow down to the picture of Caesar. Okay, put your right hand out so I can put this carotenoid in you. GMS has 100% truth. And all of you going to eat your words. You're going to stop your mouths. You're going to say, I can just imagine Bishop Nate and Captain Tazariak and General Yohana, they're going to say, oh shit, GMS was right. We're always right. In the name and power of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became his blood, and a dead man and every living soul died in the sea. So let me pull out some words here. Let me go to, it says the MOTB, right? It says that what's going to happen is there's going to be a noisome and grievous sore. So I'm going to deal with those three words there. Noisome of a bad nature, not such as it ought to be. Yeah, there's something wrong with your hand. Your hand is bubbling up. Pus is coming out in blood. What's going on? Of a mode of thinking, feeling, like these people that took the jump shot, they're all getting sick. The ones that didn't take it, they ain't getting sick. The ones that did take it, they getting sick. They're back and forth in the hospital. They're falling out. Some of them is dropping dead. I have my friend, a grew up childhood friend. He dropped dead of it, and he said I feel like I should have never took them jump shots. He said I feel like I'm going to die any moment now. And a week later, he was gone. It says base, wrong, wicked, troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructive, baneful. Bane meaning death. So come on, let's come on back. Noisome and grievous. Let's look up the word grievous. Paneras, for the labors, annoyances, hardship, pressed and harassed by labors, annoyances, bad or of a bad nature, in a physical sense, diseased or blind. So it's a illness. Let me look up the word sore. Helcos. A wound, especially a wound producing a discharge, pus, a sore, an ulcer. Now look, Luke 16, verse 21. This is Lazarus, the story of Lazarus. It said, moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. We just finished reading this. And blasphemed the Most High of heaven because of their pains and their sores, grievous sore. So they're going to blame it on the Most High and repented not of their deeds. So now let's come on back to over here. Start from the 12th verse. Then I'm going to close. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Let me look at that in the NLT. And this goes hand in hand with Isaiah chapter 14. I'm going to read that. I believe it's Isaiah chapter 14 and 9. The kings of the east are talking about the kings of the Middle East. Oh, let me read this second verse. Revelation 16, verse 2. So the first angel left the temple and poured out his bowl on earth, and horrible, malignant, right? You have a tumor, it's either malignant or benign, right? If it's benign, that means it'll go down, we can treat it. If it's malignant, that means you got to cut it out. So that's cancer right there. So that charagma is going to develop into cancer. It says malignant sores, something producing pus, an infection that produces pus, broke out on everyone who had the. So is that Christianity? Oh, so you go to the church, you're going to get a sore on your hand. No, it's an actual physical thing, which is the charagma. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. You're going to find that there's a reason why we say that we have 100% truth. And all you clowns out there in Israel that came up against what we're saying with the apostles' doctrine, you're going to say, oh, shit, GMS was right. the MOTB, and who worship his statue. It says statue right here. Wait a minute now. It says statue. So now let's come down here to 12 verse. Then the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great Euphrates River, and it dried up. So the kings from the east could march their armies toward the west. What's the west? What's the uttermost west? North, Central, and South America. And what's going to actually march over there? The missiles. That's in Joel 2. It says that the missiles, they shall march. They shall not break their ranks. That's the Most High's mechanized army or mechanized host. West without hindrance. Let me keep reading from NLT. And I saw three evil spirits that looked like frogs. Well, it says like frogs, didn't look like frogs. Leap from the mouth of the dragon and the beast, which is, you have the Roman Empire, you have this current beast system, which the dragon and the beast are interchangeable. The Roman Empire is known as a dragon, Revelation 12. But this beast here is also the dragon. And the false prophet, that's talking about Christianity, from all the daughters of the Roman Catholic Church, and even these other religions, but mainly Christianity. They are demonic spirits who work miracles. Miracles are their technology, and go out to all the rulers of the world, the leaders, to gather them to battle against the Lord on that great judgment day, the day of the Most High Almighty. Alashadja, God Almighty. Look, 15, I will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Blessed are all who are watching for me, and that's what we do. This is a way of life. There's not a day that goes by where we're not going into the scriptures or not meditating on the scriptures or not speaking or not doing a video. This is every day, all day, every day. Everything we look at everything through the eyes of the scriptures, through the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You guys has been taking breaks, you're going to take that charagma and you're going to die. Who keep their clothing, what is the clothing? They're covering. What is the covering? The truth. You can't take this truth off and put it in the closet somewhere. When shit gets really hot, watch how many these guys gonna come out of the woodworks like they never left. They said clothing ready so they will not have to walk around naked and ashamed. Now, the first time, I believe, if you go to the word naked, I think the first time it comes up is with Aaron. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Come way up over here. Okay. I thought it was. Okay, here it is. Exodus 32, verse 25. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, that did not mean that they took their clothes off. It meant that they were committing sin, that they cast the truth off of them. For Aaron had made them naked. That goes with the golden calf. Unto their shame, among their enemies. So now we know what it means by naked in Revelation 16 and 15. Naked in the shame. Same two words. And the demonic spirits gathered all the rulers, the nations, and their armies to a place with the Hebrew name Armageddon. Armageddon means mountain of troops. And that's Armageddon. 17 verse. Then the seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a mighty shout came from the throne in the temple, saying, "It is finished." By the way, I was watching the deacon in the car. He had one guy call in about the temple in heaven. He said, "Is that a physical temple?" And no, it's not. It's a spiritual temple. And they said, well, angels eat. You know what the guy said, angel food. It doesn't mean that angels eat this food and say, oh, let's give this angel food to the humans down there. It means it was given to them from heaven, from the angels. The angels make things happen under the command of Yahweh, the supreme Yahweh. So there's no temple, and they don't eat, because if they ate, they would have to go to the bathroom. So they would have to have bathrooms up there, right? And sometimes the bathroom, the toilet gets stopped up. So you got to call an angelic plumber. So a plumber come with wings on his back, with a toolbox. They have to have refrigerators. No, you got the spiritual realm, and you got the physical realm. When it goes into physical things, temple, eating, it's something for the prophets to see, to get an understanding. It says out of the temple, throne in the temple, saying, "It is finished." What is finished? Esau. Because what's going to come after that? Our kingdom. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Then the thunder crashed and rolled, and lightning flashed, and a great earthquake struck. The whole earth is going to quake from these missiles pelting the earth. The worst since people were placed on the earth. The worst since people were placed on the earth is Jacob's trouble. You can't compare it to any time in history, any disaster that took place, any war. It said the great city of Babylon, which is the U.S., split into three sections: sons of men, sons of the nation, sons of men, sons of the wicked, and sons of the righteous. And the cities of the many nations fell into heaps of rubble. It's talking about the U.S. So the Most High remembered all of Babylon's sins, and he made her drink the cup. Jeremiah 49, just started like the 7th verse, really the 10th verse, 12th verse, that was filled with the wine of his fierce wrath. And every island disappeared, and all the mountains were leveled. Meaning the governments they're gonna be laid flat, because there's only gonna be one government. That's the government of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And we're gonna be the middlemen between Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and the other nations. There was a trembling hailstone, and hailstones weighing as much as 75 pounds, which they talk. John saw the missiles, but they were a lot more than 75 pounds. They were more like 2,000. I think I did the math on it. I think it was 2,000 pounds, or maybe 4,000 pounds each. A missile fell from the sky. Those are the missiles onto the people below. They cursed the Most High because of the terrible plague of the hailstones. And that's Zechariah 14 and 12. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away, and their holes in their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That's the nuclear destruction. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next one. Shalom.